Good morning, gentlemen. We're on our 16th segment of the Think Before You Speak series, Shemirat Halashon with Clarity, Leilu Nishmat Chafetz Chaim Zechet Tzadik Lebracha, dedicated for the Yeshuot of our Bnei Chabura and the Yeshuot of Klal Yisrael, and as well specifically dedicated for the Shmira Elyona and the Yeshua Gedola and Hatzlacha for Chaim Davido ben Chayesar. Today's halacha, titled The Inquirer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that in our times, one of the most common questions of Shemirat Halashon is when we're reaching out to find out information about other people. We're going to find out that the big point that we need to be careful with is how do you ask about the information and who do you ask? Again, how do you ask and who do you ask? And therefore, I think you understand the halacha that when you're reaching out to inquire about maybe a potential business partner or a potential shidduch for yourself or your child, or maybe a potential employee, someone who's one day going to work for you, how is the information supposed to be given over? And how do you inquire and ask people about this information in a permissible way? So says the Chafetz Chaim, you're not allowed to ask the person who you're inquiring, you're not allowed to ask their enemy information about them. Nor are you allowed to turn to people that dislike the person you're inquiring about to ask information about them either. You're not allowed to ask the person's competitor about that person and the information you're looking for. And when you do ask the proper people looking into the person, you are to mention the reason why you're asking. It's very important. If you don't mention the reason why you're asking, then the information that's given to you might actually be Lashon Hara. Rather, when you state clearly, hey, I'm thinking of going into business with this person. Could you tell me about him? I'm thinking of a shidduch for my daughter. I'm looking into this guy. Can you tell me about him? Then when the reason is given, it's clear that the information that's given over is for the purpose of whatever venture you're looking into. And specifically, when you hear the information, never assume that what's being told to you is absolutely true. You can take the information on face value and you could assume and maybe suspect that it might be true, and then from there you act accordingly with the information as you want, but you cannot take it as truth. Now, we were talking about the person who's giving over, and rather, we're talking about the person who's asking for the information. What about the person who's giving over the information? So the Chafetz Chaim tells us, the person giving over the information is not allowed to exaggerate. Keep it specifically to the facts. And as well, when you're being asked about someone, do not step up and start giving general descriptions, but rather stop the person who's asking you and say, what do you want to know? Hey, I'm calling for a shidduch. I'm asking about this guy for my daughter. Oh, very nice. What do you want to know about the guy? And then they'll say, I want to know, is he a matmid? I want to know, is he bal midot? Let it be pointed information, not general descriptions. That can go anywhere, and we fringe again on violating Lashon Hara. No, ask, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you want to know about the guy? And I'll try my best to give over to you what it is that you're looking for. You know, this is another reason why it's so important to learn the laws of Shemirat Halashon. The obligation today is probably bigger than ever because today we're in the age of such lightning speed communication. We're all day, constantly, in all different venues of communication. We're always asking and looking into other people at all times. If we don't learn these laws properly, it is so easy today to trample on the laws of Lashon Hara and Shemirat Halashon. So on the sign-off, the tone and the words that you use have a great impact on the listener that's inquiring and asking. And therefore be very careful, not just who you ask, not just what you say, but careful how you say it. What tone do you use? Be gentle with your words. Remember, you're giving over words now. Give it over in the way that you'd be answering about your own relative or maybe brother. Thank you for listening.